For about 10 years, I thought this really cool game I played as a kid was lost to the sands of time. It's a floating gray grid in a black empty space, knights, clerics, rangers, a couple magical beasts. To make matters worse, it's one of those names I really couldn't fully remember, but it was on the tip of my tongue. And I'm not sure exactly what search query it was that led me to it, but I remember stumbling on a Reddit thread, and it eventually led me to a preservation project of the game. We'll talk about that and more, but first grab a drink, light a Marlboro, smoke it at your computer desk, and let's get into this week's Iron Man update. So starting out, I did Children of the Sun, got my combat stats, my attack, strength, and defense specifically up to 20. It was too risky out there. I was getting attacked by dark wizards every time I went into Varrock. Hit points, we moved that up to 21 as a result. Let's see, after that I did some mining. Did a little mining at the Essence Mines. Just put on a few levels, figured don't want to start Guardians of the Rift with just one mining. Got a bit into some quests after that. Did Priest in Peril, unlocked the agility course in Canifis. I did almost die again. Of course I didn't get footage, so that's a party foul on there. It was to one of those monks. It was to one of those monks in the Priest in Peril quest, and it wasn't even the correct monk. I forgot that you had to kill one of the hooded ones. So another near miss, another little blunder. After I was finished with that, I moved right into agility, got busy, and went straight to 56 agility. Ended up with like 281 marks in total. Went smooth, not too much to say about that other than did a bunch of laps. I think it was something like 650, a little bit more than that. I jumped back into some questing. I knocked out Goblin Diplomacy. I finally did Dorix. I don't know if I've mentioned that 2 episodes in a row now, so I finally knocked it out. Could stop mentioning it. Then I ran over to Lumbridge, knocked out the Lost Tribe, and grabbed some free mining XP there. And let's see, I think that brought my mining total up to 23. So nothing too crazy. All said and done after all those quests. I think I might have forgot to mention I did get my full graceful. And with that, I didn't want to start Guardians of the Rift just yet. I still want to get a few mining levels. I'm thinking at least 30, 35. But the issue is money is still a problem, big problem. And I went ahead, did a bunch of laps, 11 to be exact, at the agility pyramid. Got up to 110,000, so I'm thinking I'm going to spend a little bit of money on magic. Maybe try to knock out some diaries too. But other than that, I'll go ahead and put some comparison stats up on the page here. Show the progress. But that's it for the Iron Man update. So jumping into the game I was talking about. When I was growing up, there was all these Flash games. I'm sure everybody remembers. You had you had all types of stuff. I don't know if Funny Junk had games or not. It was just mostly funny shit, funny videos. Then let's see, you had sites like Miniclip, Addicting Games, Armor Games, Congregate, just to name a few. But one game that I played a lot with my little brother was a game called Tactics Arena Online. And basically what it is there's like 18 different characters I guess you can have on the board, and there's a bunch of different game modes. I think typically there's like 9 pieces that you have on the board. That's like the classic game mode, and they all have different abilities. They have different like turn timers, different things like that. Some are melee, some are range, some like the cleric just heals, things like that. And anyway, I thought it was dead media for years, because, I mean, the last time I probably played it was sometime, late 2000s, and I kind of forgot about it for a long time. And it was always it was something I would look into from time to time. I think that everyone's got something like that, like a song or something that it's like you can kind of remember a lyric or something. And I could never really find it anywhere. And I don't know exactly what I typed in, what it was, but it brought me to this Reddit. And if I find it, I'll post it. But anyway, I think I just typed something about knights, and it was kind of chess online back in the day. And turns out there's a preservation project. The game itself came out in 2003, and it's my understanding that there was some type of business agreement between the original developer and another company, and they ended up parting ways, and I guess it came down to monetization, which at the time back in the day, I guess I didn't even know there was monetization to it. I just played the free version. The game died, as I understand, sometime in mid-2010s. I'm not quite sure, and there isn't really great information out there on it. And there isn't really a great explanation for why they just kind of let it go. I guess the community's own theory is that some kind of combination of decline in Flash support and reduced profitability in later years when updates dried up. Now fast forward sometime around 2017, there's a Steam group that was made that was talking about a rebuild that was already being made. So the remake, or the rebuild rather, predates at least 2017 by, I don't know if it's a year or less than that or more than that, I'm not 100% sure. But from my understanding, it's led by a guy going by the name of Brutal Rage, and the open source server, or open source version of it, was officially released in 2019 sometime. The basics of how it's played is there's 2 players, and I think I misspoke earlier, there's 10 units each, drafted from a roster of 18 humans, beasts, or golems. Formations are set before the match in the settings screen. Every turn you can move 1 unit, and there's a couple of different phases of moving a unit. You have your actual movement phase, then you have your attack phase, your facing phase, which is kind of interesting because that's a whole mind game in itself, where you are more likely to block an attack if you're facing someone, and that's actually really the only random part of the game is the block check. Every other form of damage is pretty deterministic. Another big aspect is recovery time, depending on the unit. And I think what the unit does, I think if you attack, there's more recovery time. But anyway, it might have a 1 turn recovery, 2, 3 turn recovery, and that completely affects what you're going to do with that unit. You don't want to leave it totally exposed. You don't want to use it on something goofy, and something serious comes up and now you can't even use it. A couple notable unique characters would be like the Enchantress, which she can paralyze everything around her, and clerics can't heal or dispel paralyze. Then you have the Golem Ambusher, which immobilizes and punishes basically anything that comes near it. It's a universally hated, or I guess that's kind of how I perceive it, it's kind of a universally hated unit. Usually banned. Other than that, I just want to say it's a really fun game. Again, it's called Tactics Arena Online. I thought it was lost media for a while, and when I finally found it, it brought back a lot of nostalgia, a lot of memories. It was cool playing it with my brother back in the day. We actually used to play Runescape together too, and that's a whole nother story in itself because he really got the short end of the stick there. He was basically my employee, my underpaid employee, but it was almost like slave labor, more like. But that's another story. But I think it's a fun game. It's active. I'll put the link on the screen and in the description where you guys can check it out. I think everyone should give it a shot. Tell me what you think. I just wanted to give it some exposure. But yeah, that's it for this one. Deuces.